Hey y'all,
Welcome back to my channel. I said hey.
Welcome back to my channel. Hey y'all, I'm Jazmyn W. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Y'all know I like to jump right into it, but first I must let you know if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then you're missing out on a lot of great and fun content. I do want to let y'all know that I am planning to do a lot more with my YouTube channel. I know I tell y'all this all the time, but my child is getting older and I have help now, and so I'm just really excited about the things that I'm already working on just to sort of expand my YouTube channel, so there should be more coming out this year or whatever. Also, we have just more content, okay? Bring your expectations down. But we also have a few comedy shows coming up, so I'll be in Chicago on April 30th with my girl Brandy Denise. That's in about a week from now, okay? So if you don't have tickets, you should be coming to the show. If you're in Chicago and if you're in that surrounding area, baby, you want to come out and see us do comedy. It's going to be, think me on live, except way more intimate and way more real, okay? I don't know if it can get realer, but it does. And then also I'll be in Dallas on May the 4th. So the tickets are below. Please come support. It's really important for y'all to come support me do stand up and stuff like that, because when y'all say, Jazmyn, you should be on this show, Jazmyn, you should have your own show. Well, bitches with their own shows sell out shows, okay? So come support me. Anyway, we're here to talk about Married at First Sight, honey. Married at First Sight, like we always do. Luckily there's no noise in the background this week, thank God. But on my channel we always start with the most
boring couple.
If you know, you know. I'm not even gonna say it, honey. If you know, you know, honey.
I said it.
So let's start with let's see here. Who is the most boring this week, honey? Let's start off with Joanna and Clint. I don't even know his real name no more. Is it Cliff? I wrote down Joanna and Clifton. Is it Cliff? Is it Clint? Is it Clyde? I don't even know. The redhead, okay?
Terry.
First of all, I don't want to makeup shame or ugly shame or beauty shame. I think Joanna's really beautiful. But I don't want to, y'all know y'all be making up terms for stuff that's offensive every week. And I don't want to shame nobody, but I'm like, is it just me, or has she not fixed herself up since the wedding?
It's not you.
It's like, it's just another indication that she really doesn't care. Because if you got somebody and y'all, you know, you're in your honeymoon stage, you want to be cute for your man, you know, like you want to be cute for your man, you want to show a little skin, honey, you know, you want to and she's just been like, she ain't put on no makeup, honey, she ain't even put on no gloss. She said, I don't even care if my lips is shiny. And then we see her on the after show. I didn't watch the after show. I just barely even watched it. And she was looking put together, gorgeous. I said, girl, please, girl. You don't like this man.
You don't.
Anyway, we found out that Joanna and Clint have been sleeping in separate beds. I mean, we kind of knew that, but we didn't know for sure. But they've been sleeping in separate beds. And I said, y'all give it up. Y'all don't even want to sleep in the same bed. Like, dang, everybody wants somebody to cuddle with. I know I be hugging my pillow tight. Child, anyway, I'm like, does Clint stink? Cause she acting like he stank at this point.
He might. Shoot, smell like seawater.
Anyway, she put his hair in a man bun because they had the male pageant show at the house with all the husbands. And I will say that Clint was looking very nice with the man bun. All the girls liked the man bun. And I thought he looked good. I thought he looked good. I was like, honey, Clint with the man bun looking a little bit better, honey. Now all he needs is a chest and stomach wax. And you might be on to something. Not much, but something.
A little something.
Anyway, Clint killed me when he did the pageant show and he was out and he was dancing and he had his I was like, Clint just has, honestly, he does have a good personality. He does have a really good personality. And I like the fact that he's just, you know, he's just likes to have fun, you know, and I think Joanna likes that too. She just doesn't find him attractive. I don't know if I don't know if it's the fact that Joanna doesn't find him attractive or the fact that he didn't find her attractive initially and she's like completely cut him off.
I think it's both.
Kirsten said that Clint was the god of all wolves because he was hairy and stuff like that. I'm like, is it just me or does Shaq look like he has a hairy body too? I know he's bald, he has bald head, but a lot of bald-headed men have hairy chest, stomachs. A lot of men have hair.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Kirsten, it let me know a little bit about Kirsten and what she thinks about body hair and all these things. I'm like, babe, she has a lot of rules around what she considers attractive and what she doesn't consider attractive, I think. I think that's also why her and Shaq are not really doing that well, because it's like, babe, it's body hair. You want him to be masculine. You want him to be a man. You want him to take out the trash. You want him to pour concrete and build a house. Well, why can't he have, but you also want him to get a wax.
Be smooth.
Laser hair removal. I guess. I'm sorry. I like a man with a little bit of, you know, baby, you take off your shirt, you got a little bit of, I'll be like, that's a man right there. Anyway.
That's a man.
I wrote down, how did Clint get last? I for sure thought he was gonna win. How did Aries win? I'm like, there's something we're not seeing.
Recount.
There's something the producers, the editors are not showing us. Because why did Aries win? He was like literally the worst one. Child, anyway, they had a cabin and Clint went out to say hello to the bears.
Oh Lord.
I mean, white people gonna white people.
Yeah, let them do them. Kiss the bears, hug the bears.
That's a part of their culture. That's a part of white culture, I believe, from what I've seen, is going out and being close to animals and getting mauled. Clint said that he's been camping before and he's not new to having bears sniff his tent. I said, yeah, bears have sniffed your tent, but have they sniffed your ass? Because that's what's going to happen if you go out there and mess with some big bears cheering. Okay, they will sniff your ass and they will bite it too, honey. Because those are cubs. And they mama is somewhere lurking. Okay, do not play with no cubs, honey. Anyway, I wrote down that Gina and Clint just need to make love already. I'm sick of it. I just want them to just do it.
Do it.
And y'all may be thinking, Jazmyn, why do you want them to do it? I just want them to. Just to see if there's anything. Just to see. I sound like a man now. Don't you just want to see? Don't you just want to see? Don't you?
Just a tip.
I would get a little curious at this point. And Jazmyn and Aries, and not Aries, but Aries too. Baby, you say you could do all this and say all that. You say you can move, you could drop it low, pick it up slow. Baby, let's see.
Let's see, honey. Play Christina.
Gina said she likes Clint as a person. But she said she has enough friends. She didn't join the show to have another friend. And I don't blame her for that. I don't really blame her for that. You know, yeah, she said she's not looking for a friend. She's looking for a man. My man. And I honestly don't blame her for that. You know, she wants to, it's nice to be cool with Clint and everything, but at the end of the day, he must be pushed to the side if he's not the one for you, so that you can go out and explore the people or the person who might be for you. So, yeah, I just wish they would have just broke it off. I don't want to see y'all's friendship all season, to be honest. I want to see some romance budding, some two people who are trying to work on their relationship. So that's what I want to see. All right, next, let's move on to...
Sorry about the audio, y'all.
This is the second video. Let's move on to Shaq and Kirsten. We started off the episode with Shaq doing a little freestyle, and Kirsten was on the beat. Hey! 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 Anyway, when they got to the cabin, Shaq said, Kirsten, he's like, oh. Anyway, when they got to the shack, When they got to the house, the cabin, Shaq was like, oh, it's a room with a tub and a shower. Cool. And she's like, it's called a wet room. I was like, I never knew that either. So I learned something. Shaq, during the pageant, I wrote down, he reminded me of a rotisserie chicken. I don't know why I wrote that down. Oh, I guess it's because he was spinning.
Oh, Lord.
He brown and his head was shiny. He reminded me of a little rotisserie chicken, honey.
A honey glazed ham.
Shaq then put the wig on that the other husband had on. What's his name? Dan? I don't know. Bob from Bob's Burgers? Hell. Anyway. When they asked the men, what's your advice for married couples? And Shaq said that his advice is to focus on yourself. Honestly, all of the men's advice was trash. Nobody had anything insightful or loving or nice to say. But focus on yourself.
Okay.
Your advice to other married people would be to focus on yourself. So when you come with somebody, that's like advice for single people. Focus on yourself so that when you meet somebody, you'll be whole and happy with who you are. That's not advice for married people. And Kirsten was like, and I could just see her next week. Like when we were at the house last week, you said, when they were asked about advice for married people, you said focus on yourself. And I didn't really know what you meant by that. I can already see her.
Yeah, that's how she gonna be.
Hear her and see her. Shaq and Kirsten then went to a little ice place where they got to slide down a slide. Y'all love slides as adults. Like, me and my friend was thinking about going to El Salvador. And it was just this big ass slide. Everybody talking about the slide. It looked fun.
Right.
Yes. Anyway, then they started talking about how their communication hasn't been that great. This is the most boring couple, to be honest. I was barely watching, honey.
I'm barely watching you.
At the end of the day, Kirsten don't like him. She don't like him. Okay. I wrote down they had sex, but it sounds like from the way Shaq was describing sex at the house, when the guys were in the kitchen making breakfast, it sounds like they only slept together once. Because Shaq was like, we had sex, we got it out of the way, we consummated our marriage, we got that out of the way, we got it out of the way, we sort of did it, and now we've done it, and now it's done, and we can put that behind us. I'm like, did y'all do it one time? It kind of sounds like they only did it once, doesn't it?
Sounds like it.
He was talking about it, right? And y'all consummated the marriage, and y'all are not, it didn't seem like it was that great, did it? Like, based on how they're acting, it doesn't seem like it went that great.
Because it wouldn't.
Because I know Shaq said we consummated our marriage. And then Kirsten was like, but maybe he didn't have the length she was looking for.
Ooh.
Because she talked about that in the beginning.
She did?
And that's not me being shady or nothing. She said she needed how many inches she said she needed? Comment below. And maybe he didn't have that. I don't know. I just got here. Anyway, they had an 80s night and Shaq had on an afro. I'm like, I was born in 89. Technically, I'm an 80s baby, but I didn't grow up in the 80s, but I still know that an afro is the 70s. Anyway, let's move on to the next couple. Let's move on to Nicole and Dan, or Bob from Bob's Burgers. Nicole said, started off with the episode with her low self-esteem. I'm so bad at packing. I mean, I'm bad at packing. I'm bad at unpacking. I'm bad at picking out clothes.
And everything else.
I'm bad at picking out luggage. I'm bad at going through security checkpoint. I'm just bad. I'm bad. Oh. That's where I felt like that was going. And she was by herself. Anyway, they are talking about what they're going to do with 3 dogs. They're going to find a house to rent because they have 3 dogs. Y'all got too many damn dogs. I'm sorry. If you have 2 dogs right now and you're looking for somebody to be with, you're single and you want to be with somebody. Not everybody single wants to be with somebody. If right now you have more than 2 animals and you want to be with somebody, you are dating, get rid of one. Or when one of them die, do not get another one. Because as a single person, having 2 dogs and thinking rationally that you are going to be with somebody else who has a dog, it's just so much of a hassle. And Nicole was like, "No, can we figure it out now?" And he was like, we will figure it out. At first, I thought he was just like being lazy, but he said, "Let's just enjoy the weekend. There's nothing we can do about it right now in the car on the way to this cabin. So let's just figure it out on Monday." And I'm like, yeah, that's the mentality I would have too. Let's just wait. What, you want to search for houses right now on your phone? Do it. But I mean, like, I'm not going to rack my brain about it until Monday. Knock yourself out. Nicole was trying not to get mad and not to have a temper tantrum and trying not to be in a bad mood and trying not to have an attitude and trying not to seclude herself as soon as she got to the house. And baby, you realize you can do all of this in your own head. You don't have to tell us that you're about to get mad and that you're trying not to get mad.
Right.
You don't have to tell us that I'm not going to have a temper tantrum. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to seclude myself. I'm not going to throw myself over the balcony. I'm just not going to do it. Did y'all notice that when they walked into the house, Eris was fixing shots for everybody as they walked into the house. And she was like, "I don't want to be the last one at the house because we're not going to get a good room. Y'all should have left earlier then." Anyway, so when they walked into the house, Eris was like, somebody mentioned something about a shot. I don't know if it was Eris. And then Dan was like, "She doesn't want a shot." Dan, Bob from Bob's Burger was like, she doesn't want a shot. I was like, that was hilarious to me. And I don't know if y'all caught that, but Nicole was giving Bob advice on how to dance and everything for the talent show. I'm like, baby, how you gonna give him advice? You don't have self-esteem. You don't have esteem.
Nah, esteem, nah.
So how you gonna give him advice on how to be confident during the pageant? That's the kind of stuff that would break me and somebody up. If first of all, I would not be with somebody who had low self-esteem.
You wouldn't?
Okay. And even if I was, if they tried to tell me, I'd be like, "I know you're not telling me." Anyway.
With your insecure ass.
Dan, aka Bob, aka Chris, had on this sensational wig. This how some of y'all wigs be looking. Anyway, and yeah, he ended up getting 2nd place. I also thought Dan was gonna win. He didn't. I'm like, I don't know what y'all see in Eris, but okay. Anyway, the next morning, Chris decided to give Nicole a nice romantic surprise that he called a scavenger hunt, where he wrote 3 generic things on 3 separate cards and then taped them to the balcony.
Wow, how romantic.
I'm sorry, I called my daddy and I complained about this. I was like, first of all, the things he wrote down weren't even unique to her. "You are a strong black woman." I think one of the cards said, "You are a strong black woman." I literally think one of the cards said, "You are a strong black woman." And she was like, "Oh." I'm like, "You're not even black."
She was like, "But I am, though. It's so sweet."
"You are independent." I think one of the cards said, she got her own house, she got her own car. I'm like, what? It wasn't even anything unique to her. It was just 3 nice generic things that any human being could have picked up and read and thought, wow, this was for me. Then he taped it around the balcony and she said, "Oh,
Baby.
And I said, that's not romantic to me. My dad was like, "Well, what you want her to do? Put them all across the forest?" I was like, no. If I woke up to one very nice note that was specific to me inside the room, that would be romantic.
More romantic.
But he wrote 3 generic things. The producer said, "Send her on a scavenger hunt and write down 3 nice things and tape them over the balcony." And he was like, "Okay, you are kind. You are beautiful and strong. You are a gorgeous black woman. Is this good?
Wait, how do you spell gorgeous?
And the producers are like, perfect. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Does anybody feel me? Please let me know if you know what I'm talking about. Like, it wasn't unique to her. My dad was like, you can't please no woman. A woman to complain about everything. I'm like, at least if you're gonna write a note, make it unique to me. That's what maybe that's my specific thing. You know, maybe y'all like generic notes. I don't know. When all the couples were sitting around dinner and they were talking about what, you know, how things are going, Chris and Nicole were like, for us, you know, we always do good. You know, we're always thinking of ways to improve. And, you know, for us, we are the perfect couple, but we're always thinking about ways to be more perfect. And y'all are just in denial about the issues that you guys have.
That part.
You are in denial about the burden that you are to each other because both of y'all are depressed and or have low self-esteem and feel like you're still in the process of working on yourself. I love you, baby. I love you. That's all they want to do is talk about how they love each other, because I really think it's because, you know, they don't want to face the negativity in their relationship, which is fine. You know, it'll come up later. And then finally, Nicole says that she usually cries on her birthday because she sits around and thinks about everything she didn't accomplish. And now she's in a happy relationship. And I wrote down, run, Chris. Because if you are with somebody who every birthday before this one they cried because they sat around and thought about the things that they didn't have, when the shiny newness of this relationship wears off, what do you think they're going to get back to?
Nothing.
When you have a baby and you have another one and the shiny newness of being a mom wears off and your titties is flappy and the umph is gone out of them, kind of like this, and when you are tired and you've been running around with 2 toddlers all day, and when, you know, the interest rates keep going up and your husband's depressed and your husband belly getting big because of the load of stress and family and everything, what you think you're gonna do?
Yeah, what you gonna hold on to?
It's time to go to therapy. It is time to go to therapy. I would not have let that comment slide. I would have been like, hold on, baby. What? You cry on your birthday about all the things you didn't accomplish? A marriage, a family, a kids it's not gonna save that. You have to do internal work to change that.
Preach.
Those are external things. But let me get out of Dr. Jazz mode, because Dr. Jazz be on you, honey. Let's move on to the next couple. And finally, we have Jazmyn and Eris. Jazmyn says that during this retreat, she would like to see an increase of intimacy. And I wrote down why.
Why?
Like, I'm sorry. Usually I don't say things like this until the end of the couple, but I must say that I did tweet that Jazmyn is a really good example of accepting the bare minimum from people out here in these streets. You're crying over the bare minimum. You're touched by the bare minimum. You're willing to accept the bare minimum. Eris is not doing anything unique or special. He's just talking and listening. He's not doing anything above and beyond. He's not even really meeting expectations for somebody really supporting their partner in a relationship based on what we see on the show. So, and Jazmyn's over here crying and touched and wanting to increase intimacy with him. Okay. Eris said, I hope we don't get next to Dan and Nicole or Kirsten and Shaq. Our rooms ain't next to their rooms because they probably gonna be making a lot of noise. That right there is an example of why I would never, will never, would never, and have never gone on no couples trip with y'all.
Period.
Because a part of me is like, you want to hear them. You want to hear them.
He wants to.
You want to hear them. You want to hear them. And you know what? The reality is I want to hear it too. I'm curious as well.
Girl.
But y'all ain't about to hear me. Hell.
And that's on that.
They did some cue cards on the way to the cabin. They asked each other some flashcards, some questions on flashcards. And talked about how they spend the first 30 minutes of their day. Eris said he spends the first 30 minutes of his day pooping and reading.
Okay.
Don't know why I'm repeating it. It's just what happened. But anyway, Jazmyn says, one of the questions is, what have I taught you in this relationship? And Eris says, and Jazmyn says, Eris, you've taught me to, what did she say? She said, you taught me to read more, like I'm doing more reading and meditating. And she goes, I don't think I've taught you anything.
Really? Okay.
I was disgusted. This man has a lot to learn. You don't think he learned anything by being around you? Jazmyn, baby, you got to work on your self-esteem a bit. Because men will be around us for 48 hours and learn something.
That part.
I mean, and if he answered that he didn't learn anything, lies. And he said, that she's taught him how to, I don't remember what she taught him how to do, but anyway, he said something and she was like, oh, I didn't even know. That was nothing, girl. That was nothing. Okay, it was nothing for him to say that. Anyway, y'all, I don't like to be shady or anything like that, but we gotta take care of our teeth.
Oh, girl, yeah, we do.
Because Kirsten and Jazmyn missing a tooth on the side.
Did you have to tap them? Okay.
We gotta take care of our teeth. We got to. You gotta floss, you gotta brush, you gotta use mouthwash, you gotta oil pull. Do all the things so we can keep these bad boys. Cause they younger than me. I can see sacrificing a tooth or two when you get older, but when you're 30. Side note, I also saw a picture of Jazmyn. Looks like she got her teeth done. Looks like she got her teeth, made some adjustments to her smile recently since the show. So it'll be interesting, if they have a reunion to see what her smile looks like. I love the fact that Jazmyn hosted the pageant. I was like, oh, how appropriate. I loved it. And Eris ended up winning. Wah, wah, wah. When asked what's really, really important to, know or do in a marriage, Eris says, it's important to know what turns your partner on. I said, well, why are you not doing it? If it's so important to know what turns your partner on and to turn them on and to have this sexual, and everything's so sexual with you, why are you not doing it? And I'll tell y'all why. It's because he's misogynistic. He believes that in a relationship, it's his duty to be pleased. It's not his job to please others. Because if he was the type of person who pleased other people before he got pleasure himself, he would already know what turned his wife on. Jazmyn got a little bit upset at Eris because he went to sleep and did not wake up the next day to meditate with her. I was like, girl, he was drunk. He was handing out shots to everybody. You think you're going to get up and meditate when you're on the liquor? No. I don't know why she was really upset about that. Like, obviously, he had a night full of drinking. But he ended up meditating with her anyway. And I wrote down, baby, this is the weakest meditation I ever heard. Today, we are going to meditate. We're going to close our eyes. And we're going to meditate. We're going to calculate. And we're going to percolate. Huh?
How you like it, Daddy?
Child.
How you like it? Let me do it from the front.
Jazmyn and Eris went on a date, and they did some rock climbing, and Jazmyn bodied him. And he was like, I knew she was a cheerleader. I knew she was flexible, but dang, that caught me off guard. Good for her.
He's a hater.
First of all, cheerleading is not only about flexibility. Cheerleaders are athletes. Cheerleaders are athletes. It is about strength, flexibility, agility. Cheerleading is hard.
Endurance.
And if you cared about what she was into and her job and her career and her passions, you would already know that.
Period.
Aris doesn't even look like he's in shape. I know he has a gym in his home, but he doesn't even look like he even works out. Okay, meditating ain't gonna get you strength, baby. It ain't gonna keep you in shape. You can get in shape up here, but you ain't getting in shape here by meditating, okay? And she bodied him. And once again, ours feels emasculated by Jazmyn. This is becoming a reoccurring thing every episode, isn't it? Her being taller than him, her being a better rock climber than him. I wonder why he's not interested in her.
Because he feels emasculated by her and he a misogynist.
And I think Jazmyn really should go find a man who can handle her. Because obviously, he can't. In fact, he probably feels emasculated in the bedroom as well. Because think about how agile, strong, and flexible Jazmyn is. Not to get in her business, but I'm just saying. Can you imagine? Aries is probably in over his head anyway, baby. Aries is just trying in this relationship now because he wants to be able to say, well, I tried. He admitted it this episode. He said he doesn't want any regrets. He doesn't want to look back and say, you know what, I didn't do enough. Maybe I didn't do enough. Maybe I didn't try enough. The only reason he's trying with this girl right now is because he wants to be able to say, I did everything I could. Even though I don't really think he's given 100%. I don't. He's giving very minimal effort. But he wants to be able to say, he's doing enough just to be able to say, and saying enough in front of the camera just to be able to say, I tried. And that's all it is. And I really wish Jazmyn would just give up on him, to be honest.
Please.
I wrote down at the dinner, Jazmyn cried because of what Aries said about her. You know, I just see her passions and everything she doing, and I just commend her. She very strong, and you know, she's over here crying. I'm like, okay, he communicates like a teenager. To me, that's like a speech a teenager would give.
Worse.
Imagine your husband at dinner in front of, it's your birthday, and it's your dinner party, and he's like, you know, Jazmyn, he don't even look at you. Jazmyn, you know, she's a very strong woman. I mean, I seen everything she's capable of doing, and I was like, wow, you know, it's really commendable. I don't think I would have even handled it like that. I don't think I could have even did that. And you over there, what are you crying about? What are you crying about? He said he wants to commend Jazmyn for her strength, and Jazmyn is crying. Aren't we tired of being commended for our strength, the black women?
Oh, yes.
I created some content about that. I might post it here on YouTube. Aren't we tired of being commended for our strength?
Exhausted.
Anyway, I gotta let y'all go. Comment below and let me know. I want to hear from black women. I want to know, are we not tired of hearing about how strong we are? It's more of a compliment to put me in a position to where I don't have to be strong. Put me in a position to where I don't have to be strong, where I don't have to tough through it, where I don't have to look at people and people say, wow, you are so strong for having gone through that. Stop putting me through that, actually. If you want to get the real tea. Test tube, baby. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye.